In a world with entirely too many shows about cars, this is another pointless automotive podcast.
It's Miller time.
It is Miller time.
Hi, Chadwick. Hey, Frank, when do we get sponsored by Miller Lite?
I don't know. I feel like they're actually too highbrow of a beer. We need
100%.
We need some like Czechoslovakian beer that's been like discontinued for 8 years, and like there's somebody found like a shipping container in like a sunken barge in the Mediterranean, and now they're selling them at bargain discount. Like, we need to be sponsored by them.
Yeah, no offense to our Czech Republic listeners.
No, exactly.
Your beer is fantastic.
Well, I mean,
bring us into the fold.
Isn't the greater Czechoslovakia region, and I know that's two different nations now, but bear with me.
Yes.
That whole general region, isn't that like the birthplace of beer? I know beer is like all over the globe, like pyramids, you know. There's some great.
Formerly known as Yugoslavia, right?
Sure. Yeah, there's been a lot of. It's a hotly contested region of the globe, but I think it's the birthplace of beer. I think. I don't know.
Somewhere out there.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll go
React. Chime in. Comment. Anywho, outside of probably getting both geographical and beer knowledge all incorrect. In addition to all of that,
ding ding.
We are here. We're podcasting again. Another pointless automotive podcast.
Nailed it.
And I wanted to do something. I posed today's mission to you, Chadwick.
Yep. In a fever sweat dream.
It is. I woke up with heavy heart palpitations in a deep dark sweat.
Half erect.
Exactly. Well, always. I mean, that's just part of the course. Always at half mast. But there's been a lot made, so to speak, quote unquote, or there hasn't, depending on who you pay attention to. But Hagerty put out their bull market list, 2023, right. Which is they made a list, and some of our other podcasting friends and people that we pay attention to here locally, they've all waxed poetic on the bull market list.
Sure.
And so I thought, like, what if we made the bullish market list, which is effectively there's this bull market list, and it's all cars that are good cars, good enthusiast vehicles that, in theory, the good people at Hagerty, the underwriters and media team have decided over there, hey, these will be good vehicles to purchase, and it's only going up from here. They've been investment drivable fun vehicles.
Yep.
But we tend to not, we shy away from investment pieces over here on their shallow end of the pond.
True.
With our podcast. And so I thought, what if we came up with a list of the dollar store version?
That's us, man. That's where we're comfy.
The bull market list. The bullshit market list. 2023. And I think that's it. We'll pick each of the vehicles on their list. We haven't compared notes yet. I don't know what I have in mind. I don't know what you have in mind for some of these. I'm sure we're going to overlap a little bit.
So I do have my list in order that they appeared in the video.
Okay.
Good old Randy Crooks video.
Yes, and for those that are watching on the video, here's the full spread, the full Monty on the Hagerty Drivers Club magazine. By the way, we are aggressively not sponsored by Hagerty. If they want to give us money, I would be down. We have no sponsors, not for lack of wanting money, but just we're poor, and so nobody's paying us to talk about this list. But I thought it was a fun exercise, and so
satire.
I went through the magazine.
Yeah,
correct. And I went through the magazine, and you went through the video. So I don't know who. I guess you want to just go with first. Let's go with your order, and I'll just roll with the punches here, my friend.
Cool.
Because I actually took notes. I'm starting to do that nowadays.
I like this. I'm a positive influence on you, Frank.
Somebody's got
some aspects.
Somebody's got to be.
Probably more negative, but.
Because I'm just no. Carry on.
So first vehicle to show up in the video, which was fantastic, and a car we've talked about on the podcast before, is the Nissan 350Z or 350Z, depending on where you're listening.
The 350Z. Good car. This was one of the ones I had a harder time with.
Really?
Just because that car, in a lot of ways, because I wanted to try and match it with, like, close in performance.
Okay, that's fair.
And that car, as far as money you spend for performance, on paper, and kind of in the real world anyways, if you throw styling and some of the kind of objective stuff out.
Yes.
Or subjective, I should say. It's kind of already a bargain in and of itself. You could call it like a dollar.
It was.
It was. It still kind of is. Not what it once was. But
right.
You know, it's. Anyways, I'm. Do you want me to give you my take, or do you want your take first?
I'll throw mine out there.
Okay. What do you?
You keep it Z. You get a 300ZX Z31 though, because they have avoided the price hike that the 300ZX, the Z32 has seen some appreciation, and
absolutely
deservedly so. As I stare at mine longingly, twin turbo version. But the Z31, you can still get it with a turbo. Clean ones have seen a little price hike, but
that's just because they're so hard to find clean.
Correct, but you can still score a well-worn driver's car for a fraction of the price of what a 350Z goes for nowadays.
If you find it like not super tight, but like let's say 168,000 miles.
I love that
driver's
range,
car. Z31 turbo manual. Ooh. You know, maybe the paint's a little faded in spots, but like it's mechanically tight.
Yeah.
But not bad. Like there's some cracks in the dash, but the seats are livable. What is that? Probably you can get one for 65. Maybe?
I was gonna say 6 to 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think that's where not that long ago that was the bargain price for the 350s. You can get that same description in a 350 for 6-7 grand.
Correct.
And those days are over.
Far gone.
And the underwriters at Hagerty seem to think that number is going to keep climbing. I'd like to think the Z31 is going to get its day.
Sure.
I thought about that actually for my list as well. Either that or the S, and I know we've had this debate before.
I know
the S130, the 280ZX turbo.
Yep.
But that is a good one. I think those are cool. I do think there's some room to grow on that as far as that car's not going to lose value unless you
that's
race
what
it.
I said too. Is like it's a Z car. It's also primed to also appreciate. So it's not like you're not just getting a cheaper version of the car that's going to be stagnant. That car's going to go up in value. You know,
you're not going to lose on that car, and
cool
literally unless you burn it to the ground.
Which you can do that.
You can do that.
It's within your power,
within your grasp. You know where I went as a dollar store analog for that car?
No idea.
A new Edge Mustang GT.
Okay.
So close to a standard GT, 260 horsepower, manual all day.
4.6, right?
The 4.6 modular. If you can find a higher mileage Mach 1, which has 305, which is just in line with the rev-up motor in the 350Z.
They had the Mach 1 had the shaker hood, correct?
The shaker hood that didn't shake because
right.
the engine ran so damn smooth.
Well, that's why you get a misfire, so you can have
you just have a
pull a spark plug wire.
A wire and a switch. It's like it pulls a lead off a spark plug.
I just did do maintenance, so I'll get a misfire eventually.
Yeah. So you can do that because I mean, in my mind, a lot of the reasons why people bought the 350Z was to beat it up and like the tractor drift missile, and that's why the prices have come up. And I think if somebody still wanted to buy one for that reason, I think the new Edge GT is great because incredible aftermarket support. You can kind of kick the crap out of them, and they just keep working.
Yep. Parts are cheap. Maintenance
is easy. The performance is close. It does not have nearly the sophistication as in the suspension setup that a 350Z does, but if you decide you want to spend money and make it into a handler, you can do that. If you want to keep it stock, you can do that. And you can get one of those, you can get a decent running new Edge Sport Mustang GT with 150K on it and manual for $5 grand.
I was gonna say 6 gets you a pretty decent one.
6 gets you a decent one. I think you can get you could probably get a slightly rough Mach 1 for like 6 or 7.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you can get a very nice GT for 7.
Maybe Mach 1. Mach 1's have done a little hiking. They're up there a little bit.
They have, but I think if you get one with miles on it, say the same kind of breakdown that I was talking about with your Z31, you could probably get a Mach 1 for 7.
You could, yeah.
I bet.
With some
with almost 170 on it, and it's not torn up, but it's not perfect, you know.
Sure.
So that was my thought on that one. It was a little. Hey, we've started off well. We haven't come up the exact same
cross streets
fucking car for every single.
We'll see.
I think I tried to zig I tried to predict your zag, and I tried to zig.
I like that. Yeah, we got quite a few cars to get to, so we'll step it up a little bit.
Yeah,
next one on my list, C5Z06. I don't think we need to speak too much about this car. It's fucking fantastic. Love that car.
That's tough. It's tough to beat because I look like even getting a clean base C5, you're not saving a ton of money.
They're starting to go up a little bit too, yeah. So I put C4 Corvette because C4s are still attainable. Yeah,
That's
you
what I
have to put it.
Mid-run C4 with a 6-speed, so we're talking, what is that, 89, 90, 91?
Yep, where you get the 6-speed.
The sex speed. I guess like 91, 92 is probably the sweet spot because that's when you get the LT1. That's where I would shop, and you can get one for, what's the world's cheapest Z06 right now that actually runs and drives? 14, 13?
Yeah, real rough.
Yeah, for a rowdy one. And
get a
you can
real
get
nice
very nice C4 for that same money.
Pick your
you
color.
can get a runner driver for. Again, we're in that $6,000 and $7,000 range. I think you can get a very nice mid-run C4 in there.
If you're really good, you can get a ZR1 for that price.
You're good. You gotta
blow the right people.
You gotta milk the right prostate.
Know the right people.
What's next? Let's keep this chronological. I'll let you lead the dance here.
That was easy. Suzuki Cappuccino was the next on the list.
I think this one was tough because that's another car that
you're gonna love mine, so I want you to go first. You're gonna love what I picked.
I think this one we might cross-pollinate on, honestly.
Oh, no shit.
Maybe. So one was if you want to stay JDM, which is tough because there's lots of hurdles there, especially here in California. You can pick up a Suzuki Alto Works, which has the same motor.
Yeah.
Manual. It's a tiny K car hatch, but you can get one of those for less than a Cappuccino, but not that much less because it's still a K car and it's cool.
Yep.
I went a car I've owned once upon a time.
I know.
It's the ultimate dollar store version.
Dude, we picked
Geo
the
Metro convertible or Pontiac Firefly.
Yeah,
spicy. You get a Canadian.
All right, let's hear why you picked that, Frank. Why did you pick it?
Well,
support yourself.
3 cylinders.
Correct.
Within striking distance of the same horsepower. Incredibly light.
Yep.
Is a convertible.
Pounds.
Yeah. Is a convertible.
Yep.
5-speed manual.
Yep.
That's literally it.
You literally read my list. Front-wheel drive, but it is a fair bit cheaper, so that's where the pay is. I think is you're getting that front-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive.
It turns heads. They turn heads.
I can't believe we picked the same thing, dude. Yeah, same curb weight, 1,700 pounds.
Yeah, I mean it's the answer. It's ultimate dollar store edition, and the nicest one on the planet is $5,000.
Right. Yeah. Oh. And they came in fun colors. You get bright yellow, that beautiful competition blue.
Competition blue, bright screaming red. There's that like fuchsia color. The pink.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one. That's a good one. So yeah, hey, look, we crossed over again.
There we go. I knew I was gonna do that. And the motorcycle one is next. Harley Davidson Knucklehead is what was on the video. Dollar store, I put Triumph Bonneville, the older style. Cool, very stylistic. They're really cool. They're really popular, but they can still be had for a good price.
There's certain swagger to Triumph. They're not expensive, but they're like
and they're approachable.
They're cool. I've got a friend. Yeah, I've got a friend. I think his is an 01 or 02, 03, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Bonnie.
Cool bike.
It's got the custom plate. It's like BLKBNNY, Black Bonnie.
Okay.
It's black. It's all blacked out.
Not BBC or.
Black Bonnie. No, not BBC.
I thought you were gonna sing a BBC song, and I was gonna.
No, is there?
I know. I was gonna be intrigued.
Oh boy. And not BBC One, BBC Two. Not that kind of different BBC.
Is that what you meant?
Probably. Yeah.
Austin Powers, if you will.
Apparently he has a new show out. Finally, like he came out of his cave and he's got some new. He made some like mini series on HBO. I don't know.
I talk like Shrek the entire time.
God, I hope so. Why is he Scottish? So I put the Honda Super Cub.
Okay.
Because I have in my garage a $900 1980 Honda C70, which is the Passport, which is just a U.S. branded Honda Cub.
Yep.
The most prolific motorcycle in the world. Nobody can get mad at it. They're fun to drive. They're easy. Their parts are cheap and ubiquitous. You will never lose money on one of those.
Correct.
And so yeah, we're not deep into the woods on motorcycle stuff, but we had to tip our hat to that. Speaking of tips, you want to tip your hand? What's the next one?
This was a tricky one for me too.
Ooh.
The Lambo Murcielago.
This one I have a lot of ideas for.
Do you?
Do you want me to go first, or do you want?
Splay yourself out on the table. Let's hear your ideas.
Oh my!
Keep it.
So I think, in my mind, not the only reason, but the main reason, they're cool. Those cars have grown on me a lot. I've never been supercar guy. I've never been Halo, really true Halo car, unless it's like something not that crazy. That car is pretty nuts, and I think the reason that people really like it is it's flashy but understated at the same time.
Yep.
It has a gravitas, and you can get it with a 6-speed. Like that's
gated.
V12 6-speed. Gated. Yeah, gated is a bonus. So I have 2 thoughts on this.
Okay.
There's 2 different ways to go. If you want a V12 with a manual, I've preached this before. I've stood on the top of this mountain, and I've screamed from this mountaintop. the Aston Martin DB7 V12 Vantage with a 6-speed manual, you can get for $40,000, which
isn't
is
like
almost 10% of a clean, good, nice 6-speed Mercy.
Which isn't couch change, but definitely the dollar store version.
It's if you're
the
talking
genuine
1/10 of the item on this list, it's the dollar store version. The other one is if you're just attracted to that era and style of Lamborghini, just go get a Gallardo. You can get a Gallardo for a third the cost. Non-Lambo people aren't really going to tell the difference. You'll know the difference. But we're in the dollar store here. If you buy the dollar store Hugo Boss cologne or whatever, you don't have to tell everyone it's the dollar store Hugo Boss. Let them sniff.
They gotta get
and figure out if it's the real thing. Yeah, let them credit card swipe you with their nose and figure that out.
It's a Wet Ass Pussy lyric.
Oh boy, we're out over our skis already. Yeah, my wet ass on the passport. What about you?
So I went true dollar store because your examples are great. Actually, I didn't even think of the Aston, but I focus more on the mid-engine aspect of the Lambo.
Sure. Okay.
And I went Japanese, which I tend to do. And I went MR to SW20, turbo or NA. The turbo gets you a lot more performance. Understood that those prices are going up, but if we're talking dollar store version of a Lambo, you can get a really nice SW20 turbo.
I mean, the MR2 is the MR2 and the Figaro, but the MR2 executed on it way better.
Killed it.
Was the ultimate dollar store, Ferrari Lambo. I mean, as they rolled off the assembly line, they were drawing those conclusions to the point where people like, oh, I know, I'll just bolt my fake counterfeit Lambo parts onto this car and call it a dollar store Lambo.
Sure, yeah.
We should just kind of kit car.
Kit cars are cool.
I mean, they're awful, but they're cool.
The SW20 though I went with because it's more refined than the AW11. You get the turbo, and I just did that review, and it's quite a performer out of the box. And I'm telling you, some mods, you can get up to Lambo speeds pretty quick with some turbo modifications, engine modifications. Great engine in there too, but you get the mid-engine. That's what I couldn't find at any price point to call itself dollar store value. I couldn't find a mid-engine car that delivered, the Lambo experience. So
maybe we'll come back to that. I think there's another mid-engine car on here.
I
took that approach. Well, the R8. We'll come back.
Yeah,
let's not
I got some time for that too.
Okay. But I took that same approach for that other vehicle.
Yeah, and I put that the MR2 is a good buy because also appreciating. So a lot of my dollar store versions, I still thought of like the whole aspect of the bull market was, drive your 401k. Maybe your 401k was a 1% match instead of a 4%. So go ahead and grab that SW20 turbo.
So you didn't go
enjoy it.
You didn't go like Chevy Sonic LT turbo or something like that. Which is going to fall off the fucking cliff.
Man, I
it hasn't already.
I get you good handling. I got you mid-engine, and I got you an appreciating car.
You're getting me lots of things
for a dollar store value.
Wow.
Next on the list, you spoiled it. Audi R8.
Before we do that, can I?
Nope.
Can I? Well, hold on. Can I address the elephant in the room? Not the actual elephant.
Stampy?
Not the Bonneville.
Not Stampy. Hey! Sweet Bonneville.
Is that the bunny? No,
I think Loon.
So, no. Dollar store, dude.
Yeah.
You can't even get anything for $1 anymore at the dollar store.
It's like
$1 plus.
$1.25.
Yeah, $1.50, $1 whatever. Oh man.
I had a good Matchbox haul the last time I went. Me and the little guy got 8 new Hot Wheels cars. The coolest one was the LS400, 1994. No shit, T10 and everything. Oh, it's great. And a Subaru SVX.
An SVX in a Matchbox?
Yes. Ooh. It was like crazy haul.
That's good. It was good. Well, I showed you that stealth.
Yes.
The stealth, the silver stealth twin turbo. I forgot who made that. It was like green light, I think was the name of it.
Super cool.
Yeah, it was good.
But this was dollar store haul.
Oh, I think I paid like $8 for mine. I know.
That's how much all of
the hood open though.
That's dope.
Rubber tires.
Yeah.
Or another stratosphere.
You can see the maintenance nightmare within.
You know what I didn't buy at the dollar store?
An Audi
Matchbox section was an Audi R8. Although I think I do have it. I think the kid's got an Audi R8 too. I don't know if it's a Spider or not. But with the aforementioned Audi R8, I took that same approach with the I tried to go mid-engine.
Yep.
That you won't lose a ton of money on. And so I had 2 in here.
I think
I'm leaning towards one.
Yeah.
You've owned one of these.
I know.
And that's the 987 Cayman S is.
God, I miss that car.
You can get. I mean, that's more dollar store than my other one because you can, for what, 20? You can get a good one.
Is
not great.
No, you gotta go more.
One.
Now you have to go mid-20s at least.
Mid-20s
for a drivable one.
Okay. I don't remember. What'd you sell yours for? I don't remember.
Same mid-20s.
Mid-20s.
And it was high mileage for a Cayman.
But it was a good car, and it was really spec. I'm thinking if you had the same mechanical and
oh, you're
visual
talking like
flaws.
a base Cayman?
No, S.
Okay,
You're still like an early S.
They're still going. It's still
okay. So say 25, right? 20, let's say 30. Let's get really spicy.
Get a nice one.
Get a real good one for 30.
Pretty nice one, yeah.
You know what? The nicest manual V8 R8, which would be the one I would get. I would get an early R8 with the blades. I want the fucking blades out there.
Fuck yeah, the blades. Good
in a V8
V8's
with a
really
manual.
That 4.2's bulletproof.
The 4.2 is bulletproof. The 5.2 is pretty good too, but like I don't need that. I like the V8. I like the V10 noises too. I like them both, but give me the V8 with a manual. I feel like you can just like punish it a little bit more. But in lieu of that, I'm going 987 Cayman S or my real pick, an early Evora, Lotus Evora with a 6
Ooh.
Because
they were not so good handlers early on.
No, they were good handlers. They had no power.
Well, they were
because it was just the NA. It was the NA V6 Camry V6.
Camry V6,
286 horsepower.
They tweaked the handling too with the later ones and made them a lot more.
I think they did. Well, I'm sure
they were kind of numb.
I'm sure you had to with when you're talking about 410, 430, and these big horsepower numbers. The same motor with a blower on it. But you can get an extremely nice, say 50,000 mile, which is
okay
in this kind of section of cars seems like a lot, but again, Toyota parts, it's not as much as you think. For high 30s, low 40s.
I was gonna say
you can spend 40 grand and get a very nice one. It has that same level of gravitas as an R8 would. What is that? A fourth the price? A third the price at least. If we're talking your typical V10 car, I mean, you could probably get a manual V8 car with miles on it and some imperfections for 80.
Sure.
So half the price at the very least.
I'll go with that.
What about you?
My dollar store has they have bars on the doors and a security guard watching you at all times. So I go with
they also cash checks.
Yeah, you bet they do. Yeah, and bails. They'll do your bail bond stuff too. But I kept it. I don't need my friend. I said maybe you want the looks of an R8, that kind of nice, bubbly, rounded shape, and you want a car that's actually such a steal right now. You know where I went.
Early TT.
Early TT Quattro.
We've talked about it a lot.
I think that's a buy because I think they look good. They look good. The early Quattros look real good. You could go your Poison Turbo 4, 1.8 turbo, or get a nice 3.2 V6. Get the Quattro.
V6s were only automatic.
Correct. So
but it was an early DSG though. I think it was basically the same drivetrain as the
Golf GTI.
The R32.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's really the same as the R32, like all-wheel drive, and I think it's the same drivetrain it's shared. So I always thought that was a great like dollar store R32.
It kind of
but
is.
Not true dollar. They're cheaper, but not that much cheaper than R32.
You can also get the 225 editions, which had 225 horsepower.
Yep.
You get a 6-speed manual all-wheel drive.
Great car.
Great car.
You can get a decent one for 6.
6 to 7.
You can get a rough one for 4.
You can get a baseball leather interior one if you up a little bit more, and that's a pretty cool car.
Yeah, I like those cars a lot, man.
That's what
you can get them with good interior, like blue interior.
Tell me that's not the dollar store R8 though. I mean, it's the Audi. It has a similar shape.
That's more dollar store than I went. But still a good car.
Good car.
I like those.
And they're bound to appreciate, dude.
Anything
that hangs out at the bottom of the depreciating curve this long tends to get its price chopped.
And parts aren't the same.
Yeah.
You know, like the Evora, it's got some bespoke shit in it.
Correct.
This car,
they made a shit ton of them.
And a lot of it is just Volkswagen parts, like GTI parts. A lot of that stuff carries over mechanically and this and that. And so, yeah, that's a good one. I don't know why I didn't think about that. I'm so stupid.
Okay, next one. This is a little tricky, buddy. SLR McLaren, a car I had a poster of.
I thought this was the easiest one.
I
thought this one was a layup.
Okay, we probably picked the same one then. What did you go with?
It's such a layup that I kind of have another side piece, but it's
start off with SL.
It's SL55.
Ooh.
SL55.
You went more expensive than me.
Because it's the same motor.
I went SL500.
SL500 is a little bit more dollar. Your old dollar store when it was $1. I'm the dollar store when it was $1.50 now for your
I
your
would
pack.
rather have the SL500 in this case.
Man, I'm such a sucker for that supercharged motor though. That M113K is so fun.
The looks though, the SL500 takes the cake.
Are you talking
I'm talking
R129?
Yes, mid-90s.
Okay. I was going the same. I was going the 230, the R230, the same generation, because it looks 60% of the way to the SLR McLaren.
You just need to stretch the hood a little bit.
Yeah, stretch it, make it a little phallic-y in appearance, but it's literally the same motor and transmission out of that same car. They just pumped it up a little bit. And, add a couple hundred horsepower.
Same interior though.
Yeah, right. And so I thought, is the SLR cooler? Yeah, I think in a lot of ways for a lot of people the SL55 is
pretty cool.
SL55 is kind of uncool. I think that generation
I like the SL.
Your generation is cooler.
Frick yeah, it is.
It's far more cool.
That's why I picked it.
The build quality's better.
That's why I think the SL500 is a better buy for appreciation. Because you can still, they've been creeping up, but you can still score one.
No, you can get one. The trouble with those is you want to find one where all the issues have been addressed and it's been well maintained.
Right.
I'm not super afraid of miles on those if it's been maintained.
Sure.
If it has miles and it hasn't been, you're buying a can of worms.
If it has 10 owners who are in their 20s, probably going to avoid that one.
Exactly. If it's hella flush, I would punt on the R129. But I do love the build quality is incredible. I hated those cars for a long time.
Yours is probably more like the analog to the McLaren because they're so close. But I think mine is the one I buy because
it's not. But
mine would be the better appreciating asset. I think. So I think we nailed it.
Maybe. I think they're both probably. I think yours has come up a little bit, but I don't think you're going to lose money.
No,
I think
definitely not.
I think the 230 is like at the bottom. I don't think those are going to lose money either. That's the bottom of it.
Yeah, they're pretty low. What's next up on the list was the AMC AMX, which was a pretty cool surprise to see on there. Very rare machine.
It is, and I took a page out of your playbook on this one, and I stayed in Mark. So
Okay.
I also picked an AMC.
You picked something with 4 doors though.
No, I didn't.
You didn't ramble on?
I thought of it. Is that what you did?
Yeah, I rambled.
Go for it. Tell me about your Rambler.
So the Rambler, dude, is
Ramblers are cool.
super cool. You can make them look pretty cool, and you can modify the hell out of them if you need that extra power. But
Yeah.
the Ramblers were made. They did not have a low production number. They made a shit ton of Ramblers, so they can be found, and they can be found.
Yeah, as far as AMCs are concerned,
As far as AMCs,
nobody
of course.
fucking kept those cars.
But when you find them, they're like 5 to 8.
Yeah.
So there you go. Sure, 4-door, but get over it.
They made some 2-door Ramblers.
Those are so rare.
They're hard to find. It's funny. Like I feel like every couple of years they gave it a new, a different name. Now the hot ticket one is the Rebel.
Yes.
The Rambler Rebel, and then they have like that Rebel SST and some of the other ones. But like
Rambler, you can put a souped up engine in it. You can get it.
yeah,
all the way
it's
there.
awesome. I mean, pretty small. You can do whatever. I thought about going Rambler. Like I had that in it, but the thing that caught me, so I have to look it up because AMX is one of those. Yeah, it's just a short. Then you look at like,
Did you go Eagle?
no. So if you stare at the wheelbase,
Oh boy.
you'll go, boy, that's actually a really short wheelbase.
Yeah.
It's actually an inch shorter than a Corvette.
It's wild.
The wheelbase. It's 98 inches. This is the wheelbase. I found one with a 1 inch shorter wheelbase. 1972 AMC Gremlin X with the 304 V8 option.
That's a spicy engine for that car.
Now it's not that spicy because it was 150 horsepower.
Yeah, but how many actually
off
came with
the
that option with that engine? There weren't too many, right?
I think for the 304 there were a number of them. There was a dealership that did like the whole like Yanko Camaro treatment or whatever, and they made 22 or 21 or 20 something of what they called the 401 XR. So the 401 big block smacked in it.
That's
and
pretty
people took them drag racing, and so those pull there's 22 of them, so they pull AMX money.
Of course.
But you can get, I think for under 10, you can get a decent Gremlin with a manual with a 304.
Okay.
Most of the early ones were 2-seat only. You had to opt in for a back seat. So you had another AMX 2-seater short wheelbase car. And what's wild is like if you just want the look, But you know what? The performance, you can get the same motor in that was in a Porsche 924.
Pretty cool.
All the way, yeah. An Audi 2-liter up to a 401 big block, like through and through. All the way.
Agreed. Quite an engine range. You nailed it. I think I like yours a lot more. I didn't even think of that. I just thought.
See, I like some of yours better. You like some of mine better.
That's how it works.
Working. It's just like we drew it up. That never happened.
That is cool. Next one's kind of cool.
Oh, is it?
The H1.
This is my least favorite. Everything on the list.
Having piloted many Humvees in my past.
Well, that's all I could come up with. Just go get a shitty retired Humvee.
I don't think you could ever register a smog
retired.
here.
Just keep it on your ranch. You
There's
don't want to drive an H1 on the road, anyways.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, man.
Dude, you make your own lane, man.
When I was 14, that car was very cool. I don't know.
So here's what I went really dollar store version here. I went Hummer H3, which is, we talked about on the podcast, I think recently.
Okay.
Chevy Colorado, basically.
Yeah.
With a lot of chrome, a lot of weird fake off-roady stuff.
Such an easier car to live with, though. I went the other direction. I went like way more fucking difficult to live with.
Dude, this is Hummer looks,
Bulletproof
none of the
glass.
presents.
Yeah.
Also, they're under 10K all day. You can get an H3. How much is an H1 gonna be? Like 100K for a solid. What'd they say on the appreciation thing? Like a good
Hold on. Let's consult our magazine.
Paper pages flipping.
But no, the thing is, I think you can get like what is it they call the Alpha? Was the end run?
Oh,
the
yeah.
wheel loader. And not like the shithouse diesel. So this is saying a number 1 condition, which is the nicest one on the planet, is 146. A number 4, which is like a rough driver, is 44 and change.
Okay.
So let's say 50 for like a still pretty rough driver.
So the H1's a good dollar store pickup. How about you, man? What'd you go for?
I remember back in the day looking at like going on like the government auctions and like I gotta buy a retired Humvee, like an ex-military Humvee.
As someone that had to drive and work on these things, they
just
are
nightmare fuel.
pieces of turds.
Yeah, they're
turbo diesel, no power, top speed of like 45.
That's when I giggle whenever it's like there's like a commercial for some like HD vision glasses. They're like military grade. It's
I
like,
know what
you
that
mean
means.
you mean it was built by the lowest fucking bidder?
I literally know what that means. And then like also we up armored them for like Afghanistan early on, which means you added about like I don't even know 800 pounds of armor to a vehicle that was already slow.
Yeah, they're like 105 horsepower.
It was like so fucking slow. Yeah. But anyway, what did you pick, Frank? What did you go for your H1 alternative?
I literally wrote a shitty retired Humvee. However, this is the one I had to do a little bit more thought and consideration on the drive over.
Okay.
And so if we're talking, a condition 4, we're saying 50 grand, let's say, for a mildly sketchy Humvee, or sorry, H1. What about just like a not late run, an earlier run, like early 80s Wagoneer?
Okay.
Where it's slow, it's ponderous, it's at least somewhat capable off-road.
Decently capable. Yeah.
But has like an appearance and a presence and some gravitas about it.
Yeah.
I actually think those early Gladiator pickups, like the J2000s and the J3000s, like the 3/4 ton and half tons, have more gravitas to it.
Pretty cool.
But I think more in keeping with the H1, I think the Wagoneer, not the late run Grand Wagoneers that pull a bunch of money. I mean like the extra kind of more agrarian and shitty and rural friendly and just like more nuts and boltsy with an earlier one, carbureted, the works.
That rust out it like a fog cloud passes over your entire chassis. Rust.
Yeah, like AMC 20 axles that are hard to service, just random stuff like that. I would go. That's more of the H1 experience, I think. So, which is not a good experience. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you.
Well, sure.
They do go in places, sir.
Yeah, exactly. They go anywhere and then they stay there.
Yeah. They're cool. They're fucking cool.
They're cool. I would not want. That's like saying like having an actual like silverback gorilla as a pet is like a really fun, cool thing. It's like that's fucking cool, but like you're gonna wake up one day and your cheeks are gonna be missing because it pulled them off in your sleep.
But did you die? Probably.
There's
Just watch Congo, you're definitely gonna die.
Exactly.
That movie's so bad.
Bad monkey, go away. Underrated.
She smokes some blunt in that movie and gets drunk.
Oh, dude. Hey, yeah. And then Tim Curry like makes a laser out of like a
Tim Curry.
The city of Zinj.
They needed that diamond for a satellite.
Where's
It's
the
fucking
hobo
awesome. Stop
eating my sesame cake.
Michael Crichton went from Jurassic Park to that shit show.
Hey, you know what? Underrated movie. How dare you disparage Congo? Okay, with what's his face? The guy from Nip Tuck was like the main character. The main whatever doctor archaeologist guy. Anywho,
It was bad, dude.
what's I digress. What's next on the list, sir?
The guy from Army of Darkness was in it. That was kind of cool.
Which
He killed by a gorilla. Bruce Campbell was in it. He's very short-lived role in it.
Oh, is he like kind of like with like the first dude?
Yeah,
to
and then
get,
they
like,
find him mutilated by a gorilla.
yeah,
This is way
they
too
like
much
throw his
content.
head. Like he throws his head at him. Or
It's
whatever, and, like,
no, he kept his head. That was another guy's head.
okay.
I just watched it recently. That's what's sad.
Been a
So
while
next
ago.
on the list is the Toyota pickup, and we're not. This is a hard one to debate because these things are fucking awesome.
It is the thing with the
What's your
Toyota
dollar
pickup.
store version though? They are pricey out here though.
They are pricey. And what's wild is like I think about it and I'm like, how is there room for these to appreciate?
Because scarcity, because they rotted out.
They did. They made so many of them.
I know, but they rotted out everywhere.
I'm assuming based on the photos in here, they're saying only the 84 to 88 generation.
Yep, still called the Hilux and the rest of the road. We just call it the pickup,
The old
right?
pickup.
Yeah.
So my version was, I mean, there's a simple and obvious analog, but those hold a little bit of little value. I tried to go with a slightly less obvious analog, and that's the Mazda B series.
Oh yeah.
So
Ford
the Mazda,
Ranger.
and that's no, I'm talking pre-Ford.
Okay,
Ranger.
got you. Okay.
So this, I'm talking like the mid, I want to say 80, like 83, 82, 83
B
to about 88. So the two-wheel drives were the B2200.
Yep.
And then you
2.2
had
liters,
the B2600, which was the 4x4, which was, I think it was like the B2600, which borrowed the Mitsubishi, the Astron engine.
Yes.
That was in the Starion and the Mighty Max.
the truck engine.
But then they got their own Mazda one, was the B2600 High.
That's right.
Which is like 120 something horsepower, good torque, full time, or not full, well, I can't talk.
Full selectable four-wheel drive.
range, yeah, full range, 4-wheel drive.
Yep.
Manual, they had like what was funny is like the Toyota truck did the SR5. On the
Correct.
B200, the B2600i, you had the SE5.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then did the LE, which like you got some extra niceties. But decent trucks, they go for probably a third of the equivalent, if not less.
Yeah, you can find them all day too.
No,
Yeah.
that's the problem. That's exactly, you cannot, like, very difficult to find a clean one.
Yeah,
Because they sold, I don't know what the actual numbers are, but I would bet you for every 10 Toyota pickups, they sold one Mazda B series. But they're good trucks, they're reliable. What was it overseas? The Proceed? I think it was the Mazda Proceed.
Maybe,
in
yeah.
Japan. Just a really cool, the styling is good. They had the big, like, SE5 graphics down the side.
Cool graphics.
Mazda stomped in the bed of in the face of the tailgate. Cool car, it's just impossible to find.
I still like the Ranger-based ones too. I thought those were pretty cool. You can get a manual, you can get a 3.0 in it.
Yeah, I like the non-Ranger ones. I like that
That's fair.
extra boxy. I think it's a better analog for this one here.
You already said it.
Did I?
Mitsubishi Mighty Max.
Yeah.
Is the right answer.
That's a good one. It
Wrong
doesn't-
answer.
It's the wrong answer.
It's so cheap though. You can still score a decent. I don't know if there's ever been a clean Mighty Max anymore.
Best or worst name for a pickup truck of all time?
Great name. Remember Mighty Max? Whenever you
Absolutely.
you get on Marketplace,
I was never in the Mighty Max, but my younger brother was in the Mighty Max, which was like
I was too old,
which is like the masculine Polly Pocket.
Exactly. Yeah.
Toys, by the way, we're talking about, not like just some random, ex-stripper turned like Boy Scout leader.
So Mighty Max, man.
Yeah, Mighty Max.
Pretty decent truck.
We
The
shared
later
an
ones-
engine for a couple of years, right? With my
Correct.
selection.
Yep.
with
The early ones were carb, then they became fuel injected. You could get a manual, which was dope. You could get short beds.
You want the Ram 50 edition, the Dodge version?
the D50.
The Dodge. They did a Power Ram version of that, right?
Did they?
I think they did a power
the
end version on
was
the early
the exact
D50.
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you had like a different grill and like different like.
I think
vinyl
Mitsubishi
graphics.
because it says Mitsubishi across the whole back, and
I think did they do a Plymouth version too for a couple of years? I know you had like the Rampage and all that stuff, and the Scamp GT. Well, I was texting someone the other day, like I would strangle a drifter for a Scamp GT. Like those are so dope.
They never came with a manual, I don't think though.
Oh, you can get it with a manual.
Can you really?
Get it with a manual. The 2.2 liter with a manual. The GT I think was just like an appearance package, and like you got some like nicer vinyl on the floor or something dumb.
Dope. Okay, so we do have one more, and it's a car we love, the Saab 900 Turbo.
Yeah, I think this is another one that we probably cross-pollinated on.
Yeah.
What you got?
I put Saab 9.3 from the early 2000s. The GM, of course, we're gonna.
Yeah, I went like literally straight after, because it was originally that same car was the 900, but then they rebadged it as
9.3.
The 9.3, and that's what I have. 9.3 turbo / aero / Vigan, depending on how spicy you want to get.
Oh, I like the Vigan a lot. Those have gone up a little bit, and they're
Those are
super hard to find.
They're super hard to find.
Yeah.
They're cool.
The little symbol, they have the seats embroidered with the symbol. They have a little badge over the front.
Were those
feather.
were those available in 4-door and 2-door? And 2-door and
convertible?
And 4-door. You made a convertible Vigan, I think, right?
Ooh,
I think you could. I think you could get a convertible Vigan.
Potentially.
But those pull money. Those are like the cheapest high mile Vigan is what, 15 now?
Yeah.
If it's in decent shape.
Way cheaper.
15 probably. But I mean, Saab 900 turbos go pull money now. If you
they're dope. Like an SPG or something. Your clean one.
SPGs. Yeah, good luck. I want to say like one sold on Bring a Trailer for something dumb like 50.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Like a hyper low mile perfection version.
900s used to be like $8,000 all day for clean ones, like super nice ones, like really nice ones.
But the 9.3, I mean, we're on the same page there, right? Because even just like a kind of ho-hum SE with a manual, right?
Yeah.
The SE was still 200 horsepower.
Correct.
I think 200, 205.
Right around there. Yeah.
You get it with a manual. Yeah. The power feels good on them. The torque steer is a little aggressive, but not too crazy. No. If you get one with a manual.
And quirky looking.
Yeah, they still have all the quirks. They still have all the evenness. They still have the all-important night mode.
Night panel, baby.
Night panel, baby.
Yeah, like hit that one. All you see is your speedo illuminated.
Yeah, that's all you need, man.
They kept that for a while. They kept that for the later 9.3s too.
And every version to suit your need, because you can get a sedan / hatch, you can get a 2-door, you can get a convertible, you can get a wagon.
Hell yeah.
Underrated. Good car.
Good car, yeah. I've been looking for them. Yeah. I still have a soft spot for even the subsequent generation. I still like them.
It's not on the top of your head, is it? Your soft spot?
There's multiple soft spots nowadays.
Oh.
We're talking about memory or physical?
If you touch both, depending on where you push.
I'll tell you what's not soft after you push it.
Oh no. On that note, did we touch them all?
That's everything, baby.
Wow.
The dollar store version of the Hagerty bull market.
That's where we traffic in. Because I don't know about you, I'm not about to go out and even get some of these dollar store ones where I'm like suggesting a Gallardo. Like I'm not about to get a Gallardo.
We stayed in our lane for the most part, didn't we?
For the most part, I went aggressive. But yeah, man. You know what? One thing, quick shout out before we move on to the next round and you quiz all over me, is the one thing out of all of as much love as the Toyota trucks get, and I love that. The one that doesn't get enough play and is maybe the GOAT out of all of them, Toyota's included, the Nissan Hard Body Desert Runner Edition. With all like the red and white graphic package down the side.
This is a very cool
handful of them. Impossibly cool. And good trucks too. Like that era of Nissan is great. But yeah, shout out to the Desert Runner. One other shout out.
Intro to us to the quiz game.
That's it.
Quick rundown.
I'm gonna run down while you cue it up.
Yes.
The quiz show, the still not to be interestingly named quiz show, is Chadwick here. Is going to give me 10 whole minutes after he reads a piece of automotive print ad copy, came out of a magazine or some sort of print or periodical from the 80s, 90s to early 2000s. He's going to redact out all of the extremely identifying information, namely the year, make, and model, and it will be up to me to then, off of 3 guesses, be able to determine this make or model based upon simply the print copy and everything therein. I have an opportunity to ask for guesses, should I, but I won't. Should I guess and get it wrong? And there's going to be a 10-minute timer after he finishes reading it. Chadwick.
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Nasty as you want to be.
All right, so here's the ad. A little blurb at the top. The car is taking up probably the center 2/3 of the ad itself.
Center cut.
We got a driver's side front 3/4 at a little dramatic angle, kind of like a.
We're determining that's like the angle.
It's a really good angle for cars, and then we have some crap and tagline at the bottom.
Oh,
but let me read it. So the beginning starts off. Every car makes a statement. Why repeat what's already been said?
Oh, okay.
Blank. It's something else.
It sure is.
What are we talking about? So here we go. It's a mystery wrapped inside an enigma, stuffed with horsepower.
Ooh,
horsepower. That's why I like my tamales. Overflowing with
horse meat tamales.
Yeah, dude. Horsecock. Overflowing with cargo space. So here's some specs.
Okay.
Seats 5.
Okay.
53 cubic feet of cargo space.
Oof.
Available with 180 horsepower and a 6-speed manual. You don't fit any known category. This is personally you, Frank. Why should your car? What are we talking about?
Is that
today, Frank?
Oh man!
And the timer starts.
Ooh.
Good luck, Frank.
Challenging. Okay,
That's a good
180 horsepower, 6-speed. So 6-speed manuals immediately eliminates the 80s. Eliminates the lion's share of the 90s, at least the early half of the 90s. With seats 5, 6-speed manual, 180 horsepower. So when I hear 180 horsepower, 6-speed manual, I think Volkswagen 1.8 turbo. Although it didn't drop a turbo in there, and I feel like that's something of turbocharged horses. You get that kind of nonsense. Seats 5 didn't count the doors, but I want to say, don't quote me, I haven't busted out a tape measure in a little bit, but 50-something cubic feet of storage capacity makes me think this is wagon or wagon adjacent. Boy, could this be? I feel like I kind of have to just take a guess here to kind of reset. Ooh. Could you?
He wandered into another space.
Could you get a? Did the PT Cruiser have a 5-speed or a 6-speed? Because could you get a PT Cruiser or a GT Cruiser, depending on your parlance?
Yeah.
But I think the GT Cruiser had more oomph. I think the standard PT Cruiser turbo was roughly 180, and then you got like 225 or something in the GT Cruiser. I don't know if that was a 5-speed or a 6-speed. I feel like it's not a 6-speed. I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm gonna take that damn shot. I'm gonna say this is call it a 2004 Chrysler PT Cruiser Turbo. Final answer, Bob.
Every car makes a statement, but the statement is not about a PT Cruiser, my friend.
I was gonna say, get the fuck out of here.
No. Where would you like the help, my friend? What can I do to help you out?
I don't want to overreach here. I'm going to do this. So the country of origin was United States, USA, as they said in Street Fighter 2. Am I incorrect? How about this? Yes or no? Am I correct with the nation of origin?
No.
Okay. So that brings me back to where I was before, which sounds like it could be a Volkswagen product. You can get, I don't think you can get a Jetta wagon with a 6-speed. I don't know if you can get a Passat. No, because I know somebody that had a Passat wagon like that. It was an 03 Passat wagon, 1.8 turbo, so 180 horsepower, with a manual, and I'm pretty confident it was a 5-speed, not a 6-speed. Is this a Mark IV GTI? I'm gonna say it because you can get that with a 4-door. You fold down the seats.
Mm-hmm.
This is my next inkling. Is this a Mark IV Volkswagen GTI? Let's call it a 2002 Volkswagen Golf GTI. Final answer, Bob?
Volkswagen Golf GTI. It's something else than the ad we're currently talking about. My friend, good guess. How can I help you get there? You have one guess remaining. You have, what do we have? 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
You know what? I'm going to ask the same damn question.
Uh-oh.
Am I correct with the nation of manufacturer?
No.
Okay. So Germany is off. Put Mercury on your list. No, we're cross off Mercury. United States is off the list. Germany is off the list. So I can go Sweden. I can go Japan. I truly don't think this is Korea, like a Kia Sportage low spec with a manual or some shit. The horsepower number is too small for like a V70R, S70R. I don't think you can get a standard V50 or 70 with a 6-speed. I think those were 5 speeds. Or could you? Like if you can get a V50 with a 6-speed and the standard NA 2.4 inline 5 is roughly close to 180 horsepower, certainly seats 5. So there's that. If I hop over to Japan, hold up. Hey, is this a car I've owned before? You can't answer that. You can't answer that. I'm gonna go.
This is your final.
I'm gonna flip the script and I'm just gonna go for it. Because this was, depending on, this would have had to have been 2003. Is this a Pontiac Vibe GT? Final answer, Bob.
I can't say it's a Pontiac. But
Oh wait, did I say Pontiac Vibe? Sorry, I meant Toyota Matrix. Because United States is off the table. I meant to say Toyota Matrix XRS. I owned a Pontiac Vibe GT, which is its USDM analog.
It is the exact same mechanical car. Matrix. It's something else.
It is. Golly.
Buddy!
You
got it, dude.
Let that horse the water.
So they are definitely referring to, and good job by the way.
Oh yeah, look at that. And that's the earlier one because later they restyled those.
2002, baby.
Yeah, so they restyled the little
But they got
the add-ons on the front bumper. They got rid of it because they kept getting knocked off on curbs and stuff.
Correct, and they also, the XRS didn't have the 1.8 TZZ engine. They got rid of that as well. So the earlier ones are the ones to have. I am so surprised, man. 180, 6-speed.
Yep.
Cargo space.
Yep.
Seats 5.
Yep.
It's pretty weird. It's a weird car, and the Matrix, especially when it came out, remember they said this thing does not fit any conventional car because it's not really a hatch, it's not really a wagon, it's more of a crossover because it's a little bit taller.
I definitely call it a hatch. I wouldn't call it.
I call it a hatch too.
I think they tried to call it, like in some of the trim levels, I think the base trim level they just called wagon.
Yes, so it tried to be a lot of things, and to tell you the truth, it is a super useful vehicle.
Yeah,
like it has a lot of utility.
My Vibe GT was good. It was a good little car. It felt faster than it was, but just good car, reliable. Numi product came out of our backyard.
That's true. Yeah.
Good
job, man.
Well, mainly making Teslas.
Why Matrix XRS?
That was tight.
That was very tight. You were
snuck it under the radar.
You're going Swedish on.
I know, but I couldn't. Yeah, it felt. I don't know.
I was surprised. I'm surprised you didn't come around. Yeah, 6-speed was the kind of the 180 horsepower 6-speed. I thought that was going to click instantly for you.
It should have.
It should have.
It didn't.
You got there though.
In my head, I was like, oh, those numbers, that doesn't sound Japanese. And it was like literally there was nothing else that was close to it out of Japan other than that.
Let's celebrate with some PCP, Project Car Progress.
Host?
You wanna lead us off, sir?
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to bring to this party. I've been.
Let's do short and sweet then.
We should do short and sweet. So yeah, the only thing I've been doing is kind of what I've always been doing, which is window shopping.
Okay.
Poking around the interwebs. I've got the daily itch. I know this has been a reoccurring thing, and not daily itch. I don't mean like I've got some perennial rash that keeps coming every day.
But you haven't gotten rid of your old daily itch.
Yeah, diurnal rash. Like I don't even know how you would say that.
When it comes out during daylight.
Exactly. Yeah. So the daily itch is just like a daily driver.
Yes.
So I've been like window shopping. I think there's probably almost when it really comes time to pull the trigger, we should probably have an episode on like fine Frank and new daily. Because that would be fun. I've been looking at like I almost want to like break my own tradition and maybe look. I was looking at like new, cheap, fun dailies.
Dude, I show you that G35 4-door manual.
I know, but I see like
finding
swapped motor and like I know it's gonna be.
It wasn't as bad as.
I almost want to spend a little bit of money, which is a tradition.
You could turn and burn it if you
fight.
clean her up.
I know. So I have been bad. I have not been making a lot of headway. Have you been productive, sir?
I have been a little bit. So the 300ZX twin turbo here, I finally got around to, so much money for tires for that car. Finding a 16-inch 245 tire is pretty expensive.
What are the fronts, like 205s?
225.
225.
So it's a slight stagger, but still, nonetheless, it's hard to find a matching set. Yeah. And I got 200 treadwear tires, so it's going to be grippy. Back on the 16-inch factory wheels that I'm currently in the process of refinishing. But I also removed the steering wheel. If you look inside the car, you'll see there's no steering wheel. It's being shipped off to get refinished with fresh leather and red stitching to match the rest of the interior.
Can I ask, where's that run?
It's going to be about $300.
That's bad. It's worth it.
Yo, absolutely.
A touch point like that
versus going to where I'm keeping it kind of like stockish. Just like the whole interior at one point was redone with leather and red stitching and not a garish way. It looks very good. It's a red car. Yeah. And I'm going to keep the theme, right? So I'm going to do that route. And sure, I could slap in a Momo for the same price, get a hub adapter, slap a Momo in, but something about it. Yeah, keep it factory, baby. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, that's my PCP, man. Just getting this Nissan ready to be drivable and enjoyed. It's a fucking hell of a car. But I want to get the interior wrapped up and get the wheels. We got wheels and tires now, and it's getting there, man.
She's getting there. She's getting there. That'll be a fun one. I'm telling you, man. Rally mode.
Oh, it's
rally mode.
I'd be so scared.
It's too nice, but it's not that nice. And I don't mean that as the front of the car, but what? You're 190,000+ miles.
Yes.
And it already has a couple of earned rock chips. One more? It's not like
it'd be good. We'll see how it lines up with the timeline events. If I need to burn it for money or what I need to do.
Yeah.
Good call. It would be a fantastic rally. But you're right because it's quick, handles well. Yeah. Super dope looking, sense of occasion with the 90s stuff. Yeah.
And it's underrepresented. I mean, we went and there was not a whole lot of Japan there.
No, we could take the T-tops off. This would be kind of fun too.
Yeah, buddy. T-top nation.
Yeah, baby.
Oh boy. Well, until then, what are we? What are we doing?
We are still the APA podcast, another Pointless Automotive podcast. Follow us along. We're really trying to put a little effort, not really, into our Instagram.
Help us.
Swing by, guys.
Yeah, if we get more watchers and downloads and whatever, tell your friends, tell your family, hide your kids, hide your wife. But if we get more people, then we'll be more guilted into actually putting an effort into this nonsense.
Absolutely.
Which, maybe we do, maybe we don't do.
And we got a YouTube too. Check out our YouTube if you want to see us like staring awkwardly at each other or longingly, however you want to cut it.
Two things can be equally true.
No pants below the table. You can't scroll down.
Nope.
Frank, how about you personally? Your personal auto-related endeavors.
You can find me curled up at the foot of my bed, weeping directly into my comforter. Outside of that, you can find me on Instagram and the YouTubes on @thephotographer's_garage, where I take pictures of cars and things. How about you, sir?
That is very true. Great pictures of cars.
Thank you.
You can find me at Auto Obsessive Garage. I do rescues and restorations of turd boxes that probably should be pushed into a river, but someone's got to put 40 hours into that shit.
That's true. Plus, I feel bad for the river.
Fair enough, dude.
The river runs through.
I've saved some cars from some rivers for sure. But yeah, you can check out that and Instagram, same thing. So again, thanks from all of us at Another Pointless Automotive Podcast.
Yes, all two of us.
Take care, guys.